பாரிவண்ணன், Vivekan Narayan, to present his program on Yoga for Children. Please.
I request Akshay ji to please come. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, everybody. I am Dr. Siddharth. I am a surgeon and I work in the government hospital as a chief medical officer. And I have been a practitioner of Kalari for quite some time. Though how irregular it was, I am a practitioner of Kalari and I have been a volunteer for Kalari Gram. Today, my topic is Kalari Yoga for Holistic Health. It is very easy. It becomes so easy when a legend talks before you. After Andre Yogi Bhavanani sir have spoken, most of the topics which I have to tell is already clear and found. Thank you, sir, for that. And thanks, Lakshman ji, for letting me to talk in spite of being an irregular student of Kalari. Lakshman ji is the Kalari teacher. He is from the legendary Hindustan Kalari Gram, where there are 3 generations of Kalari warriors, and we are taught. And we are taught Kalari in the original traditional form. Okay. Coming to say that Kalari Yoga, WHO definition of health implicitly means that health is a delicate balance of body, mind, and the spirit. Definitely, this is what was the sir's lecture. And friends, I've been so kind with you. I decided not to make any PowerPoints for you. I heard that you're all students and the session is after the lunch. So I decided that there will be no PowerPoint presentation for you and it will be only a lecture demo. Okay. I will give the lecture and Sri Akshay ji will be the Akshay ji. Akshay ji. And yeah. And mind serves as an exact bridge between the body and the spirit. And mind in Vedanta is even called as an antakarana, an instrument, inner instrument. And when mind is an inner instrument, what is the external instrument available for the human being is just the body. And there are gyms everywhere for the body. Is there a gym for the mind? When a question comes, the answer is yes. It is a Kalari Kudi. Kalari and the verbatims of Kalari, the language of Kalari, is easily understandable for Tamil for the simple reason Kalari has been a product of Malayalam and Malayalam also has been a product of Tamil. Point 1. Point 2. Kalari is now restricted. Though in the Kalari right now is restricted more in Kerala, but there have been Kalari schools even in Tamil Nadu. This is a traditional art form, martial arts form, so be it. Then how it falls to be a Kalari yoga? Before me explaining how Kalari is yoga, I request Akshay ji. Can you please give us a demo of your rhythmic movement? You can notice that he fixes his stance, and here is again the Sthira Sukha Asana of the basic tenets of Patanjali. You can easily realize that the yoga postures are imbibed in the Kalari Payapu itself. Many of the named asanas of Kalari, of yoga, are postures in Kalari too. notice the flexibility and agility of the human body, which would be appreciated with the stances which are perfected. So to say, the basic tenets of Yoga Patanjali Sutras are well inscribed in the practice of Kalari and in the theory of Kalari, if there one exists. But practically no. I well realized hearing Bhavanani long time back when it was like students like you people, and after my post graduation and all, when these people meticulously took it forward to bring an idea, an identity for yoga, making a case for a scientific basis for it. And as said clearly by Bhavanani it is clear that it's a spectrum, that every medical form, call it modern or traditional, is a process continuum. Here, both of them have the same factors, the doctor and the patient. All that is in a traditional art form, a traditional medical system is an old system of knowledge and wisdom, like a grandfather, which has, as said again, there are limits. We'll understand and accept that there will be limits in any system, and they have their specialized uses too. And so, similarly, in a modern system of medicine, again, this is evidence based, science, and all that is indisputably agreed. Having said that, I would say that I'm trying to make a case out of Kalari being a yoga form. Yes and no. Kalari is a yoga, yes and no, because Kalari is just not yoga also. There are certain things called adables, which is just equivalent to any traditional dance form of Bharatanatyam, Kuchipudi, Kathak. Everything would be similar. We have always seen one Kathak dancer, Carolina, who had been performing well in Kalari. And the Kalari exponents have imbibed the emotions from the Kalari, and they have been practitioners of the art forms. There is next to our Kalari Gram, which is on the way to our hill from here, is our Kalari Gram. Next to that is the Adi Shakti theatre group, where people are teaching the original theatric performances, where people come and learn Kalari to emote better. So Kalari has, though it started as a martial arts form, has varied applications. And the very important of all the application is, in those times of Kalari warriors got injured. Whenever they got injured, they were needing treatment. And having the understanding of the subtle merma points, these Kalari exponents have developed a medical system which is a Kalari Ayurveda, which is again well established and has its own benefits. Paucity of all scientific evidences built for it or against it, it still remains as an esoteric thing which is taken only by the very few people. This again has to be mainstream, and it is nice to see one of the institutes, a university, accepting yoga and the effort which are forerunners like Bhavanani have given to make it as a mainstreamed educational system. Again, having said that, when I wanted to make what is a gymnasium for mind, I chose the topic as holistic health and gymnasium for the mind. When we go to the gym, we make repeated movements to make the muscle hypertrophied. There is no application of mind usually in the modern gym. But what happens in a Kalari Kudi is, every singular moment when a person is entering into the Kalari Kudi, he or she has to be aware, fully be present, available. And what is the instrument available for that person at that moment is the body, his or her own body, which the person has to grow, understand, explore, and make the maximum out of it and understand its potentials, limits, and fare better. And in the this process of doing it, this Kalari Payat is at 4 levels. The beginner level is called May Payat. May Payat, again, this comes from a Tamil word, May. See, what is called life is in Tamil is Uyir, which is subtle, untangible. Can anybody see Uyir? Nobody can see Uyir until the person passes away. Uyir poetry. We don't know what Uyir is, but what is available real for us is the body. So the body is called May in Tamil, and so similarly in Kerala, in Malayalam. May Payat. How to Bay Vadi. Again, in Kerala they use the word Vadi and Bay Vadi for the May Payat. What happens is, this I am going to restrict my talk with May Payat only, but I will just introduce you people what happens next. After May Payat, when a student graduates and excels from the May Payat, he goes to use the wooden weapons. That phase is called Koltari. They use the small sticks and the long sticks like Silambam. So similar to Silambam, the stances, steps are all similar to Silambam, and it has its own variations and own specificities. After the Koltari, the Kalari practitioner the sadhaka has to move forward to the next step of using the weapons. That is called Angatari. Definitely there is a sharp-edged weapons where when there is mindlessly used, definitely injuries are prone. So a student who's allowed to use a metal weapon is monitored by the teacher on the floor, and this traditional art form makes sure that the student graduates step by step. It's not like getting a graduate degree. Whether there cannot be any choices. Even when you leave one or the other question and you write an answer, you're getting a mark and you are getting a pass. And thanks to COVID, everybody is getting an all pass. That is not what Kalari does. Every singular step, however difficult or easy, the student has to excel and be validated by the teacher to move forward to the next step. And having mastered the weapons of the wood and metal, the students are trained for Verumkai, the hand wrestling, without any weapons to wrestle. There, a lot of strategies are taught. How to handle a person, the mind is diabolically taught to learn, to understand the strategies. Those strategies are taught. So, the mind is implored in this process. When I said how Kalari can be a mind gymnasium, comes Carlo and Cordetter. These people came with a paper where they said clearly that they studied proprioception. Proprioception is a joint sense. They documented by an experiment that there will be a 150 microsecond delay in the reflex arc from the sensory to what is called as a motor component. Having said that, when they noticed a particular point that proprioception is just not the joint sense, it is also the sense of the resistance, the tension of the muscles. In the study, they expanded the definition for proprioception from tension, it is also the sense of the movement. And they said that by activating the proprioception, you could notice when Akshay was trying to do, a lot of balance, a lot of strength happened. And as I said in the May Payat, what a person is trying to do is getting the body mapped to the mind. The sensory and the motor homunculus, the balance between the sensory and motor homunculus is created by the Kalari Payat. So, in the May Payat, which is the very fundamental thing, which is the spine of the whole Kalari Payato itself and Roshan and Arkali came with the microneurographic sensors, and the microneurographic sensors were introduced into the ankle of the person, and emotions were played up with the music. Whenever there was emotions of sad and happiness, there was a muscular twitch, which really says that emotions can influence the muscle, and that explains the somatic passivity, the inability of the person to move around when the person goes in for depression. So, having said that, this on reverse engineering that the same thing, working on the muscle can control the emotions. And I request Akshay ji to do the vadibus and chuvadus. Chuvadus are the steps with Kalari.
So there are
5 steps. 5 chuvadus.
four stanzas in Kali. It's called Chumada. So the first one is Vattakal Chumada, and the second one Nitakal Chumada, third one Konakal Chumada, and the final one Ottakal Chumada. So I will demonstrate each one. So the first one Vattakal Chumada will stand in like in our shoulder distance.
Here, the shoulder length and the stance is measured. The person gets the map of the idea. There is a mind muscle coordination happening at this point. From Vattakal shoulder, you will realize how the proprioception and the mind is getting mapped here.
So this is the Vattakal Chuvada position. So the second one, Nitakal Chuvada, is a little bit longer one, lengthy posture. So the leg should be heel to heel straight forward. Downward.
This is training the mind for attacking in order to get into an attacking position.
And the third one, Konakal Chuvada. Little diagonal, short step. And the fourth one, Vattakal Chuvada, single lips.
Okay. In Chuvadus, what it makes it very important is, again, when the muscular exercises were taught, it was told that to lose the fat burning. Fat burning can happen by abdominal crunches, which is very painful, where the rectus abdominis was working. But when you can notice, Ottakal Chuvada is a repeated exercise in Kalari, where the gluteus maximus, the biggest muscle is put into action. When the biggest muscle is put into action, there is enormous fat burning. Now, the modern science, with all the technologies available in its disposal, has understood the fact that the muscle action will not be specific, spot specific. It will be on the whole body. Instead of using a small muscle which is very painful, that is the rectus abdominis, using the gluteus maximus helps in more of the fat burning and to achieve a proprioception, a spatial sense of your well-being and the body awareness. Akshayji, vadibus. We'll finish with vadibus.
So there are 8 different types of animal postures. Vadivas are there in Kali. So these are the Geja Vadiva, elephant posture, Ashwa Vadiva, horse posture, and Singha Vadiva, lion posture, Varaha Vadiva, wild boar posture, and Marchara Vadiva, cat posture, and Sarpa Vadiva, snake posture, Kukkuda Vadiva, like pork posture, and Malse Vadiva, fish posture. So the first one, Geja Vadiva. Ashwa Vadiva. Singha Vadiva. Varaha Vadiva. സർപ്പ വടിവ്. മാർച്ചാല വടിവ്. കുക്കുട വടിവ്. മത്സ്യ വടിവ്.
You can notice that these exercises of coloring are where the body becomes the instrument and it is well coordinated with the mind. Without he being available for the moment, it is impossible for any Kali practitioner to go a step forward. And so here I make a case that like any of the traditional art forms, what happens in China, traditional art form and traditional medical system, what happens in China is any student who's a medical practitioner has to go through a training of the traditional medical system, and that gave us Artemisinin and Artemether, which won the Nobel Prize. The China had been using this for malaria treatment, and now for the resistant cases of falciparum malaria, where this Artemether and Artemisinin and Artemether are reserved drugs. So similarly, the treasures of the traditional art forms and the medical systems have to be put into a scientific validation, and the limits and the possibilities and the potentials have to be explored. And I rest my case here. Thanks for the opportunity, and I thank Director of Tourism for allowing this particular session for us. And I also thank Guruji. Thank you.
So thank you very much, Mr. Siddharth. A wonderful and excellent demonstration with explanation. Thank you once again. Now I request Dr. P. Guru, the lead Ministry of